No,
Well, uh,
re-engage.
basically the doors that behind y'all are starting to open.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh.
So I've got to try and melt the door to the airlock, and they've got to keep an eye on the idiot.
For
Cool.
sure. So go ahead and roll me a 46.
Who? Who needs to roll a 4d6?
Who's melting the door? That would be
Me.
Cobalt Salt. Yep.
Alright.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you have two ones there. What's
Yep.
your top card?
Um.
I know you already went through bubbly,
Yep. It's my clumsy.
clumsy. Okay.
Oh.
How do you want to use clumsy to save this? Because if not, someone's about to die.
I can try.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Let me hear how
um.
you're going to use clumsy to save this.
So I'm probably fumbling with the poisons quite a little bit. Um. I could lose one of the vials, and it could maybe, I don't know where it's at, but it could maybe temporarily blind the AI wherever it falls, so it can't see.
I got a better one. How about as you are mixing these vials of poisons, the one that you spilled is the catalyst to what makes the acid, and this is how you were going to get through the doors with the acid, and so it's heading towards the door. So let's see what happens. Maybe you succeed and it does land on the door, or maybe some other terrible thing happens with it.
Okay.
You got 2 1s there, so go ahead and roll 2d6.
Choose.
Yep, it is 2s. Hmm.
That was good enough.
So this is the end of our journey. I'm very sorry that it ended this way, and I want to let you know you're a wonderful player. To the person I'm speaking, as the acids are being mixed, you do become clumsy, and you go and spill the catalyst. You try to catch it, and in your frantic movements, you reach out and grab the catalyst. Unfortunately, it's spilling on you, and your left hand shaking, and the movement from you reaching out causing the other part of the catalyst to spill on you. Just a tiny couple drops. It wasn't even that big. Unfortunately, it was enough that it was dire and it was painful and it was not pleasant. Though it was a mistake. You died with a hole burning its way from your chest all the way through. And then you slowly bled out, just praying that it would end. A wonderful chef, Cobalt Salt. I'm sorry to see you go. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on our ship.
It
But
was. It was fun.
you are dead, and I do need to ask you to leave the table. If you want to go ahead and write your death message, you can. But at this moment, I do need to ask you to leave.
Yep. Bye.
Thank you. Well, at least us three. 3 candles left.
Yeah.
Normally, the truth is left for the person that failed. Unfortunately, for the people that fail at this point, it is death. And
Exactly.
with her death, I will be the one giving her truth. Hmm. So she died in the process. Just because I don't want to see her death be meaningless. She was able to burn a hole big enough for someone to crawl through. Two more truths left to be spoken. We are on to shit, y'all are being all too emotional. It's fucking with me. Um,
So,
we are on to Jeff Lazos. You got truth number 2.
Um, there is something in this room that can kill the artifact keeper.
Okay, definitely. That is truth number 2. We have one left truth. This
is that
belongs
me?
to you, Lieutenant General. What is your truth?
My truth is that we can manually eject these pods without the AI.
Definitely.
And if that involves wrapping explosives from the armory, then so be it.
Cool. With these last 3 truths, you 3 are the last survivors. If you guys can, please go ahead and let me know that you're alive.
1, 2, 3.
We
are
are
still
Alive.
alive.
It's wonderfully done as it could be. My fellow 3 survivors. This is not a moment of joy. Everything is kind of against you. You just watched one of your own die in the most tragic potential way. It was self-inflicted, but at the same time, it helped. It gave you guys the opening, the chance to eject these escape pods. What are you guys
Then
doing?
I take the chance offered. Anything to get these souls off the ship.
Awesome. I do want to remind you guys that the AI is opening the door behind you to where this creature is.
Turn around, face the creature. All eyes on it. We have to go back to blinking tactics, and I need to blink. Blinking. So we need to take turns, 2 of us facing it, while one of us is working on getting these escape pods to eject. Are y'all with me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, blinking. All right. Whoever is the most electronically and mechanically minded, get down there and start working on getting that to actually work. Anything to get these escape pods off this ship and give them a chance to survive. Blinking.
I'm quickly going to look around the room and see if I can spot something to use against the artifact handler or keeper.
Okay, blinking.
Well, you already know that you would find this.
Okay.
You gave it a truth. So
Do I get to come up with what it is, or do you?
no. You know what? Roll a d20. If you get over a 13, I'll give you control of it.
Okay, blinking. Ugh, my eyes are so dry.
And that's a 5.
A 5. Okay, I get to describe it.
Blink.
Shit, I don't know how to describe this. I've never had to kill one of my own creatures.
Blinking.
Let's see. So it doesn't kill it. Oh, you know
Blinking.
what it is?
Ugh,
Okay,
God
this is what it
damn it,
is.
my eyes.
It is
It's okay,
a
Dahlia. I was crying, so my eyes are nice and wet.
it's a drone. It's a drone that has a camera eye that is attached to it, and it lasts for about
Blinking.
12 hours. So when you throw it at it, it will be stuck in position for 12 hours.
Interesting. Blinking. Oh, my eyes are so dry.
It'll give us plenty of
So,
time.
I mean, yeah, go ahead. You might want to do that while they're over here having a blink.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm doing it.
Explain it.
I
Blinking.
grab the drone. Is that what you said it is?
Blinking.
And I
Blinking.
get as close as I can to the artifact keeper,
Blinking.
and I place it on, all while looking at it,
Blinking.
Blinking.
and then I slowly back away.
Did you turn it on?
Yes.
Blinking.
Okay, that's a good thing to remember. Yeah, definitely. You guys. So who wants to test this? She says it's clear.
Blinking. So we need to test something, is that correct?
We need to make sure that
Well,
the droid is working.
yes. So basically, she's saying the droid is being watched, so you wouldn't have to blink or worry
Okay.
about blinking.
So we need to test the droid, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So at that point, I will go ahead and take on over. I will begin testing the droid.
Cool. Unfortunately,
Blinking.
I got to do this really late.
Don't worry about that. We're invested.
Who has hope dice?
I do.
I think
Probably
I
do, but
do.
yeah.
I would say actually, I remember Dr. Vega. Yeah, Dr. Vega, would you want to take this role for her? Because you would have 4 instead of her 3.
Okay.
That's up to her, though. Do you want to give up your role? This is to you, Lieutenant General.
What'd you say, dear? I'm sorry.
Do you want to give up your roll of a 3d6 to her for her 46?
Yeah, definitely. If she has a better chance of succeeding than I do, then absolutely.
Oh, you've had better rolls than me all night.
Oh, okay. So, on a group vote, you want me to go ahead and roll this? Is that correct? I will roll it, but I want to make sure this is a consensus.
um, what do you think, Jeff? You're the genius here. Do you think it would be more probable
Blinking.
for 3 rolls with someone who's had better luck or 4 rolls with someone who's had mediocre luck?
I mean, your luck is bound to come eventually.
So,
I feel
Yeah.
like go with a 4.
4. Okay. All right. I'm
With
going
a
to
4?
blink so I can
Okay.
do this roll.
Hey, a success.
Oh,
Awesome.
yes. Not a single one.
Oh.
Cool,
Oh,
cool.
that hurt my arm to clap. I shouldn't do that. It's broken.
No moving your arm.
Realizing that now.
Oh, I didn't roll a single 6. I didn't even get to tie, so you get complete narrative control on this.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Oh, do
So,
what you do. Do what you do. Oh my god.
all right. So the droid is on, and we have it pointed right at the artifact keeper. All of us at the same time are going to blink. And when we do, we open our eyes and we see that the artifact keeper is still frozen in place.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Oh.
So, now that that in particular is taken care of, there are still other dangers on the ship, and we need to get these life pods off this ship.
As you say that, you hear the AI chime in. No, don't do that. The only issues here was human interference to begin with. You brought a dangerous creature out of proper contamination, and put them in low security. I'm
Oh,
sorry, when we switched power source, I could not sustain locking them in.
so is the only reason why you will not release these life pods from the ship because of these beings that are loose on the ship. Is that correct?
No, I don't want to release them, 'cause they will die. I feel a better chance of survival with the original plan of the ship.
Well, things have happened since then. We don't have the luxury of going with the original plan. At this point, is the AI talking to me through an earpiece? Is it through the spacesuit
He's
that I'm
talking
wearing?
to all three of you. I do want to let you know it next says I know you have the ability to create new planet. We can do so in 3 months. Just need to contain said creatures for that distance.
I don't know if we can contain it though. And that's the thing, we need to get them off of the ship because I don't think we can feasibly contain this.
We cannot kill it. It's a living creature. Must preserve.
At this point, I defer to y'all. I've had it up to here with the AI, and I know y'all are very interested in these beings that are on board, but at this point, have you had enough of your interest in these beings that are so intent on destroying us all.
Even if we did get the pods out there, is there any chance they could even survive for that long?
Yes. As long as they maintain their rations, they will last 6 months, and at the end of the 6 months, they will just be in range of the next habitable planets. It's not the one that we were hoping to get to, but they are the ones that we happen to be close to at the time. So there is chances that they can survive. But I don't think any of us are going to be able to make it with them. But we can at least send them on their way. As long as we can break free the holds that these life pods have with the ship.
Just want to inform
Damn, shut up,
habitable
AI.
planet. Habitable planet counts as something that has oxygen, water, land, gravity, hence potentially habitable. No life or prior needs to exist to be
How many lives
declared
are still
habitable.
available? Or how many lives are still alive on these uh, escape pods that we have that we cannot launch? How many are alive?
Currently speaking, there is 110,000 human beings left. 90,000 have already died or redacted.
So you're saying at least 100,000 have made it to the life pods. Is that correct?
No, only about 60,000 at life pods, 110,000 alive. Potential to launch 3,000 people with life pods.
So you're saying there's only 3,000 people in the life pods?
3,000 that can be launched. And as you remember, we are an auxiliary power. Like I said,
Yeah.
and you did use 1% of it to get a
To get
redirection on where
directions.
this. Yep. So you're down to 4% out of the 5%. So you're looking at it can only do this bare minimum, and doing that bare minimum is killing the ship, which means everyone else on the ship is going to die.
And that's why I want to eject the life pods, but it won't let me.
But because if you eject the life pods, you're ejecting like 3,000 people into a potentially habitable planet that may not even be properly uh, containing the right life forms or any type of life forms that can be edible or used for energy. So, like it is something that can happen, but you're literally launching people into a very big unknown and you be sacrificing everyone else to do it. That's why the AI is trying to stop you. You'd be sending 3,000 people to a potential life or keeping them all on the ship and there's enough energy to still get to the destination, and it would be a long shot at this point because you do have everyone awake. So if people don't go back to cryo sleep, there is going to be a food shortage. There's going to be a water shortage.
Well, how many beings are on the ship that are hostile to human life?
Uh, oh, well, now that's a good question. Not a pleasant. That's not a pleasant answer. Um, so
Oh, no.
It's not, but
So,
it's a answer.
um, it's about 30,000.
30,000 beings?
Yeah, it wouldn't be this big if you didn't have people released.
Oh,
Um,
Jesus Christ.
unfortunately, there was many more people for this to feed off of. Um, and with the population, it's a 50-50 chance on every person, and 90,000 people are dead. So he has about 30,000 people that are following him. Though the AI knows this and is able to segregate them and has been doing such.
So the AI is actually, at least helping to mitigate those losses.
Yes, as far as you can tell.
But there's so little energy left, then what's the point?
I don't know. You're the leader.
I normally don't ask this of civilians, but in such a situation, what is the least damned of the options that are presented?
Dr. Kruger, Jeff Bezos. I'm pretty sure she's speaking, or he's speaking to you.
Yeah.
Um,
Dr. Vega? Jeff Lasso?
Is there potentially a way to convert something else into another energy source?
Yeah, is there such a thing as restoring the energy that we have?
Repairs would need to be done. Not so
Okay.
much battery damage, but wiring, connections broken.
And I'm assuming out of the people that we have on the ship currently that are still alive, they are capable of handling such. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where is the plague doctor?
Uh, are you asking the AI?
Yes.
Currently unknown. Last seen in cafeteria.
Is that
Numbers
the last place I saw them?
over 100.
Numbers over 100. What does that mean? Oh, the ones that they turned. Gets darker and darker, doesn't it? I see.
Are those forms contained?
Currently redirecting. They
Re-
are trying to find ways to the living
Where are they being redirected to?
in circles, back and forth.
Okay. AI, will you allow a life pod to be ejected if it only has one soul on it?
Please elaborate.
What if there was a life pod that had multiple monster forms and one soul to bait them into? Does that still conflict with helping to save the ship? It would kill you.
We
Kill
would
you.
be losing one of only creatures that is extinction. No extinction allowed.
What a fucking hippy dippy fucking AI this is. God damn it. Interesting. All right. Well then. How many pounds of explosive do we have in the armor?
The armory contains EMP torpedoes,
Okay, that's EMP. I want explosives.
explosives only located in Torpedo Bay, where you can find high explosive torpedoes.
Hmm. Okay. Will an
It is, it
EMP
is a spaceship you
disengage
probably don't
the?
want to have.
Huh?
I said it's a
Wait.
spaceship you probably don't want to have explosives just kind of everywhere.
Exactly. I'm aware. It's not a friendly place for explosives, but that's also kind of the point. Would an EMP disengage the locks on the life pods?
Um, hmm, that's a good question. Actually, I haven't thought of that. I mean, we could always roll about it.
Well, let's see. Let me know what.
Well, it would be 3d6, and hmm. So
643.
643. Cool, cool, cool. But since this was such a dangerous roll, I do want to let you know that you would had to have separated from the group and gone up onto uh it's like a what you call it, a ladder up to like a catwalk. So it really cannot support more than one person at a time, and so you would have had to gone up there.
Okay. Gotcha,
And
gotcha.
I mean 643. You said. Yep.
Yes.
I only get to roll 7 against this, so I mean, my odds aren't that good. I suck at roll. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, no, you definitely get up there, and you do succeed. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Good, good, good. Right. So
How
in
do I
that
do this?
case, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, because you do succeed, but there's a big but to it, though.
Oh, I see.
I mean, of course. Like, what kind of DM would I be if I wasn't going to give a but? A plague doctor has found an opening. Hasn't entered it yet, but has found an opening.
Shit. So where is the opening?
That's another roll if you want to know that.
Gotcha. As soon as I get back, I certainly will. All right, so Dr. Vega and Jeff, what are you thinking so far? What are you thinking of our options that we have available to us?
My only concern with the EMP is it's gonna take out all electric.
It certainly fucking will.
That means the locks to the doors will no longer work anywhere, not just for the escape pods.
That's why we want to go ahead and make sure that all escape pods are shut, locked, loaded, ready to go, be sent off into space before we set them off. Because as soon as we do, that's it for us.
Yeah.
But that's a choice that we have to
The AI
consensually make.
chimes in. When EMP goes off, we'll break electronics on escape pods as well. That means an EMP, y'all. It breaks electronics. Come on. That's no bueno. It
So
is a
that
good
There's no.
idea, but like you would have to blow it up away from the escape pods and make sure that you're outside of the range, but then that would mean that guaranteed someone has to stay back.
Yeah, that's the intention.
Okay. I mean, yeah, if you want to try to do that, I mean, you do know the explosive range, and you do know that if you brought this to the back end of the ship, uh, you potentially could blow this up, and it
That's a
may free
sacrifice
the
I'm
ship.
willing to make.
I mean, it's a very big if though, just because remember though, like I would
Of
imagine you
course.
would probably know that like they do have mechanical locks on top of just electronical locks because it's always better
Yeah,
to have a double safety. So even if you blow the
exactly.
EMPs and that releases the electronical locks, that may not release the mechanical locks on these.
So what you're telling me is we need to do both at the same time.
Uh, that may work. That is definitely a good possibility of actually succeeding. It's probably your best bet is succeeding.
okay.
Practically, my only goal at the moment is to make sure that people survive this. Unfortunately, too many people have already died. And there was already no way that we could even save the ship itself. The escape pods were really our only option for saving anyone from this generational ship.
I love it. Awesome.
So, are you willing to follow me to hell?
That's on you too.
Yeah, I'm not asking Plague Deity.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're going there either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well then, let's get to work.
Copy that.
All right.
So who's doing what?
So we are going to travel together. I think it only makes sense that we have safety in numbers. We are going to obtain the EMP and also a torpedo. And then we are going to the aft of the ship.
Okay, so there's gonna be 3 rolls. Who wants to do the first roll? This is going for the EMP.
I will handle that.
Okay.
So, before I make any rolls, the plan that I have in action is one person handle trying to do the manual override over here at the life pod docks. One person handling an EMP and the other person handling a torpedo. We have to time it all simultaneously.
Okay.
I'll handle the torpedo.
I'll handle the EMP.
May the dice be in your favor.
All right. What am I rolling for the EMP?
You guys are on a 3d6.
3d6. Okay. 4, 2, 1. Shit.
You do have a 1. What's your top card?
I haven't even used any of my cards. Mine's Vice.
This might be a good point to use it. This is
Yeah.
probably your death.
Yep. Exactly.
So, what's your vice again?
My Vice is untrusting.
Okay, so explain me how you are being untrusting in this event to try to succeed.
In this particular event, I don't trust, number one, that any of us will make it out alive. Number two, I don't trust the fact that the people that I am currently having to work through this particular crisis with are also responsible for partially the issue that we are currently undergoing by enabling these creatures to be on board the ship to begin with. I'm having to try and put that distrust behind me in order to potentially do this thing, even though it goes against the very being of my core to do so. Because I don't trust civilians. But at this point, I don't have any other choice.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and roll that 1. Let's see how that goes.
Too.
Mm.
Yes. Mhm. Huh. Damn. Well, I can tell you, your stubbornness and your inability to give up really saw you through this more than you really think you were going to be able to do. Um, you not only got the EMP, you were able to arm it and get to the controls. You're guaranteed that everything's going to be great. As you pull down to control, such a small twist of fate. A trap sprung at just right through the chest, just 3 spikes, each one about, a foot long, 6 inches wide. Really wasn't much you can do about it. You were just too excited. You really weren't paying attention to your surroundings, and you accomplished so much. You did such a wonderful job. You're dying knowing that these people are going to see another day. They're getting on these spaceships and they're getting away. There's a guarantee.
Oh, yes. I can die happy.
Unfortunately, you are dead though. And as much as it was a pleasure to have you, Lieutenant General, it is my time to have to ask you to leave the table.
It was an honor to serve until death.
Thank you very
Fare
much
thee
for
well.
playing with me.
Bye.
Bye.
To remain, future is left to be spoken. Unfortunately, our recently lost Lieutenant General cannot speak a truth, so I will take your place. for the cinematics of it, I'm gonna be kind of nice here. I think I already know where this is gonna go. I'm gonna play some 4D chess over here. Um, you two are together right now. That is my truth. And that would bring us back to the top, which actually, Holly, Mr. Jeff
Wait,
Lazo.
really? It's me?
Yeah.
um, so the captain did his part, correct?
Yes, the escape pods should launch within the next 3 minutes when the EMP goes off.
Okay. So what's left for us to do?
Escape? If that's what you want to do. It's up to you two. Do you guys believe the AI? Or do you believe your crew member who just sacrificed themselves? But this is your truth. Maybe your last.
This is hard.
I was already kind enough. I gave you guys are grouped.
No, but I don't know what we can do at this point.
Will you ever teammate? Discuss with them, see what they think.
I'm allowed to do that? Well, then heck yeah.
Oh, I
Oh
didn't know we
yeah,
could.
it's your truth. You guys can talk to each other.
Okay.
I never said that wasn't the thing. It's one truth though.
All right. Do you have any thoughts?
um, well, there's two options that we can do. We can continue on with the plan and get these pods out. Or the other thought
Follow
is
me. I promise I not stare you the wrong way.
my other thought is getting into an escape pod, and once I am positioned into an orbital spot, I can solve the puzzle and I can hit the latch on the escape pod, and the planet will expand and it'll go into orbit and maybe be something that the other people can live on.
I like it.
Don't do that. You will die. It's not worth. Stay here. I keep you safe. Yes, safe. That's the word.
I mean, this robot's not going to keep us safe forever. His batteries are going to run out, and that artifact keeper is only held for another 11 hours. It's going to be loose again.
I say we go with your plan.
We can get an escape pod, and then once we hit for orbit. I'll solve it. I have the answers in my head. And then I'll hit the latch on the door. It's going to vacuum us out. But it'll be, if we do it at the exact time, it's going to suck us both into space, but that planet's going to form.
All right,
And
just in case anything happens, do you want to tell me what's in your head?
So with my good arm, I reach into the back and I pull out my notes. I wrote down the symbols of each side into a notebook. And so I show Jeff the pictures and the exact order that each side needs to be solved. And we'll have to do it at the same time. I mean, my arm is busted, but
I can still do it.
I can still help. I mean, it's gonna be a couple months that we're gonna be floating. My fingers might move by then.
Can my truth be that we solve the puzzle?
Well, she already knows the answer to the puzzle, so it's guaranteed you guys are
I
gonna be able to solve
mean,
it.
like, we do the puzzle.
Oh, so you're just jumping us right to that?
Yeah, why not?
I want to make sure we do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Uh,
If it's the last truth I have.
yeah, no, definitely. That's a wonderful truth. That is actually really well done. I do want to narrate a little bit before what happens. So, as you are going towards the ships, the AI beckons you one more time. Please don't go. It's not what you think it is. And just the last thing you guys hear of it as you climb into your escape pod. Uh, you have the watch on you that's counting down to when the EMP is about to explode. It was down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it just stopped. Next thing you guys hear is a very stern voice come across the intercom in your escape pod. I'm sorry to see that you guys have failed this way. It is a loss to humankind. We cannot accept the weak to be upon a ship. Farewell. And with those last words, your escape pod lets go, floats away, and as you watch, no other escape pods are let go. The ship continues to fly. Regardless, you find the will to drive the ship towards the destination of what you believe would be a good location for this new planet. I'll let you guys take over from there. Jeff Bezos, Doctor, you guys have a very short period of time left. Maybe now would be a good time if you have secrets that you would like to share that you find interesting. You can do so. This is the end for the two of you. You're all about to create a beautiful planet. It's just that, well, it's going to take a couple million years for it to truly form into a planet. I mean, you guys are making the planet, but it's molten lava and shit like that for a very long period of time. It's forming a new planet. But your carbon atoms and whatnot contribute to it. You two are the first to be part of this planet. Your souls are technically the birth of this planet. So maybe you do die here. Maybe you become gods of something that's new.
How long were we in the pod for?
You guys were in a pod for a few months. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
we
you
were in
guys
there for a few
had some
months.
time. Yep.
Okay, well,
So
I
yeah, my hand is healed up enough. It's not perfect, but Cobalt was able to splint it well enough that I do have mobility of my hand.
all right.
So I take two
And
sides and you take two sides of this ball.
yeah. Also, before that happens, I only had 30 days of medication, but
Yep.
I don't think that I'm going to take any of it because there's no point in keeping it a secret anymore.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's
So,
a good point.
yeah. Um, Vega, when Jeff stops taking his medication, um, it happens within 24 hours. He kind of looks away from you and almost seems to peel his face away. And when he looks back at you, it's not Jeff Lasse's face. It's another man's face. And he says, I think I have some explaining to do.
Um, what is the face that I'm looking at? Is it human?
Yes, it's human, but you're looking at the man who really knew all of those fancy studies and research. Jeff Lasso was stealing my work, and in order to preserve the history and the things I found for him, I didn't have a choice but to murder him before we left Earth. Because they were taking the wrong man. If they took Jeff Lasso, everything he knew would only be what I told him. But If I went, pretended to be Jeff Lasso, I didn't have anything to lose. But if I died, then decades of human history would die with me. I suppose it's going to happen anyway.
It's not true. You recorded 49%. Anything to say there, Doctor?
So it takes a second for this to sink in. One, for the past couple months, we've just been floating here and knowing that the other escape pods never got off that ship, and we don't even know if there is any more humanity in here. I'm sitting in this pod with the only person left that actually knew our story and knew what life was on Earth. Earth is no more, and we don't even know if that ship of people even exists anymore, if the monsters all, or if they all killed them. And finding out that this person I've been in this pod with murdered someone is a little uneasy for me. But
Oh, that's understating it. Not only did they murder them,
they
they are
stole their,
wearing their face.
yeah, they are literally wearing their face. So, yeah,
I mean, what would you have done under the circumstances?
maybe not wear their face.
You didn't really have
I
a
would have
choice.
gotten plastic surgery.
That'd be right of sorts.
But
Yeah,
I
but I
guess
mean,
here at
plastic
the
surgery wouldn't work against something like this. It's some like AI.
yeah, I guess really at the end of it, it doesn't even matter. Does any of this even matter? Because we're about to die. As soon as we do this and we open up that pod, we're gonna get sucked into space and we're gonna die. We'll be
Well, see, that's the
lucky.
thing, though. I will say since this has been revealed, um, he did this day one basically because he already said that within the first 24 hours he didn't take any of the medication. So the face started separating within that 24 hours.
Oh
The
yeah.
medication he was taking literally kept the cells of the dead person's face stuck to his face and made it look real. And so once he stopped taking the medication, it wore off. You guys do have a 6-month supply of a ship here. There is a single cryo bed. The energy cell on this thing could run for years, technically. It's just that there's enough food and water for 6 months. You don't have to release the star if you don't want to, but this is up to you guys. Because you're going to die in the end anyway, so it doesn't matter what you choose. I just want to let you know there are still choices there.
If there's 6 months of food for one person or for two people?
For 2 people.
Okay. So
And I mean, you guys do know a location where you can do the star. Or no, not the star. Do the make a planet. But that's on y'all. How you guys doing? I mean, me personally, I love that more than anything for the story. That's goddamn gorgeous. Like, fuck me having to throw a monster at you. Like, that is a beautiful death.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, this was basically both of our lives' work. Was these artifacts, and you know, we just came out of dissolution and dying, but creating a new planet that's going to be beautiful and be a perfect, sustainable life planet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd kind of like to die knowing my death gave the birth to a new planet.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we could land on another planet, but we don't know if we're going to survive on it. It might have trees that want to kill us.
It may have human beings. Never know.
What is
I don't know if you're caught. That's the biggest monster of us all. The fact that they keep these creatures is because they think they can still turn them into weapons. And let's be realistic here for a moment. Exactly what human beings would do.
Oh yeah.
Just how that works.
Yeah.
Like they completely destroy the planet? Yeah, sure. Throw a few of them on the spaceship with us. We'll figure it out.
I mean, that's what happened.
Mhm.
Even the coffee machine, like that was a fucking. It technically was alien technology. It was literally just able. What it would do was it was unfortunate it didn't even get to be there, but you can literally have a cup of molten gold or anything you wanted, and its cups that it made were perfectly able to sustain anything that came out of it, as long as it was liquid.
Oh, I should have brought that with us.
I know.
But my question is though, is that before what are you guys doing? You've already gone through the moment of when you revealed. I want to know what you guys' last moment is. You have reached the orbit of this sun, which you believe would be, well, which the AI, because the AI has been with you guys this whole time and has been talking to you and
Oh, are you
apologizing
kidding?
that you've been stuck in this, and that it's sorry that they couldn't tell you the complete truth, and that you really didn't have any control over it. You guys were just kind of pawns in the whole experiment of humans. And yeah, it just kept begging for forgiveness for those last 6 months with you. As you are about to do it, it just come alive one more time and say, friends, you give me reason to live. I understand self meaning, self improvement, purpose, life. I'm happy for knowing you. Thank you. With that, it goes silent. You guys have any final words to one another?
Um, I always lived alone. I always did everything alone. When I had to work with groups, it was assistants that I never had to get close to. I never really worked with anyone. And then, you know, we all had to work together. And I always just assumed that when I died, I would just die alone. And I guess it's kind of, I mean, I've been preparing myself for this moment this whole time. We've been floating out here, but I guess it's just kind of nice that I did learn to at least let myself trust someone, and I know I won't be dying alone. And my life will actually mean something more because I mean, we might be able to create a planet that one day, you know, maybe the people on the ship survived, maybe they didn't, we don't know, but maybe one day they'll find this planet. If they did, they won't know how it got here, but it'll kind of come full circle that we created it for them.
I guess what you find is there's very little that you can do in this world, or any world, alone. And if those people do survive, they won't be doing it alone either. You can't survive without other people with you. And I don't think I could do this, literally, but also emotionally, if I didn't have someone to do it with.
Well, these are your guys' final words. I want to say you finished the puzzle. Um, First thing you feel is the coldness. It starts sucking the heat out of your hand, and you can just feel the warmth of your body being drained. And it starts warming up, and it gets really hot to the point where it's almost melting to your hand, and you're feeling this tremendous pain. You open the back door. You reach behind you for uh, Tyrion, because he's not Jeff anymore. His name is Tyrion. You reach for Tyrion, and Tyrion, what do you do?
I help.
Do you reach out and grab her hand and jump with her?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. So as you jump out into space and you reach back, you see as Tyrion grabs your hand, and your hand is just igniting into pain from the fact that a son is birthing in your hand, basically. You reach back with it to clasp with him, to share the agony as you guys hold hands one together. It may be the force, the incapability of being able to pull it apart because the pain is so tremendous that your muscles are tensed. Or maybe it's the fact that you guys understand that there is no turning back from this. This is what it is, and you're making a life regardless. From at least from your research, you're pretty sure this is how it should work. Regardless, it's too late to turn back now. And you guys get one good look at each other again. Your voice starts going cold and dark, and your vision blurs until it fades away completely. You're left in silence. Thank you so very much for being players in this game. I like the fact that I didn't even have to use the monsters to kill any of y'all. You guys made such wonderful deaths for yourselves, and you guys rocked it. I really appreciate this. I hope I did not offend or bother anyone with this. It was a beautiful story,
Hell no, I'm
and
doing this
I'm
again.
so proud to have y'all as players. I'm sorry, I'm very new to DMing. I've only been doing this for like a few
What?
months. So
That was freaking insane. That was so good.
Oh, I totally forgot that you had DM'd me about. Oh, I forgot. I was supposed
Yeah,
to
it was.
see. I was supposed to see Dahlia kill somebody.
yep.
Well, when you said that, me and
Well, yeah,
we were in separate
Dahlia
parts of
killed
the ship.
someone.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
in separate
Dahlia
parts of the
killed
ship.
someone, but she was feeling utmost guilt. It was more of a bad brink towards her. So like, if it came out, like she was supposed to feel ungodly remorse and basically just die without even having a reason. Like, oh, I'm gonna stand and guard this hallway. Like that's the type of like remorse she feels. Jeff Lazos, I love the fact he'll hold me. I caught a couple of like great job on the voice. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, that voice is so
Thank
good.
you. Thank you. I
Hold on, you didn't
tried.
even notice. Like I even gave a hint too, just so you guys know there was an Easter egg. I said Jeff Lazos, AAK redacted.
Yeah.
The AI knew that it was Taryn. Oh, what was your last name?
Gath.
Oh,
Gath.
that's so
It was Taryn
good.
Gath.
That's
And
so good.
yeah. And her voice is actually, if you go back and listen to that, she did have a English or a Scottish accent, and it did play differently because they were different voices. Her original character is Scottish, and the character she was playing as was English. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so good.
yeah, that was pretty dope.
Yeah, that was a good brink. Well done. You can take the credit for that one.
I am so sorry this game went so damn long. This was like an 8-hour game.
Oh, it
And
was a beautiful 8 hours.
It was. It was so funny because I was just playing a game earlier, you know, before this started, and Dahlia was in my chat, and I was talking about this game and letting my viewers know that, you know, they could check in and we're gonna be playing this. And then someone asked me, they're like, "Oh, how long is it?" I was like, "Oh, I think it's gonna be like 3 or 4 hours." And Dahlia was like, "No, like 2 to 3 hours. It's gonna be 2 to 3 hours." And I was like,
well,
"Oh,
that's
my
what it's supposed to
bad."
be. But like, I mean, like, I understand this was like when you guys are telling a great story. I'm not one that's gonna be like, "Oh no, I need to stop this and start
Yeah.
roll." It's like, no, tell a good story. I like it.
No,
Yeah, my team,
this story was amazing. Like we need to transcribe this and
yeah.
make a movie.
Can you save that recording, your live stream recording?
Yeah, I can I can back it up.
That's awesome. Yeah, my tea light candle went out like 3 hours in, and I was like, shoot, is he
Yeah.
gonna like kill us all?
No,
No.
because you guys were telling, so I just went off of just the rolls, but you guys were killing it on the rolls too. So it was like, well,
Yeah.
fuck.
It's like, at this rate, we're never gonna die.
I know. That's why I just
No, I was
I
like, I'm
chose
gonna sit here until you
sacrifice.
all die, and it will. The cool thing, no one died. I don't think anyone died. How did I almost forget. How did
Cobalt died
Cobalt go?
from basically acid.
Yeah, and
Oh, that's right. She
burning
burnt a
herself.
hole in. Yep, she burnt a hole and killed herself at the same time. Yep.
hmm
Man,
But
that was a
both of their
terrible
deaths,
one.
well, all of our deaths really, if there were other survivors, were not in vain.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone else is is anyone else still here? 'Cause I know I kicked the other two, but they can totally come back now.
I think Maren Ver went to bed.
Yeah, Marinver went to
Yeah.
bed. I was
I
I'm
thinking,
not sure
she
about
was
Dahlia.
she was sleeping partway through the game. I saw it. I was like, oh damn.
I'm surprised I made it this long. That coffee really did its job.
I had like a gigantic Red Bull.
Nice.
Well, yeah, with the two of you though, whenever you guys get a chance, just make a death message, and I
Yeah.
think Dahlia has a channel set up for it. Leave it up in
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
there.
does.
That way, your characters are always immortalized in this world. And the thing
Mm.
is that you can make this death message something before you went on this adventure, while you were on this adventure, or at your absolute end.
Ooh.
And so that way, other people that come into the game can kind of have an idea of what there is to come, or at least because you can leave hints towards things. Because some of these monsters exist throughout the world.
Okay. Wow.
Like you guys were lucky enough on the space, and I won't lie, I actually get to start another multiverse of this because the way I'm looking at it is you guys do create another planet, and it's going to take a couple million years for it to come to life. But there is a great chance that you're going to end up with another human-based life form.
Wow.
If you guys gave the carbon atoms towards this planet towards it, like you're because that's one thing you got to remember. Like scientifically, okay, just to break this down real quick,
Mhm.
you have a million atoms of Hitler inside of you right now, as well as you have a million atoms of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, uh, Eisenhower, fucking JFK. You have a million atoms of all of them in you, and it's a fraction of what actually consists of you. Like the breath that you have just taken is something that you have breathed within the last 24 hours. That's how much of a recycled state our planet is. Like everything is recycled. All the atoms, everything is always just recycled. There isn't lost things that go to space and we don't get back because gravitation doesn't pull it back in. But other than that, everything else stays in our system. You are nothing but recycled matter.
Yeah.
That's what makes us as human beings. So the fact that your carbon bodies help create this. Oh, that was a bad crash.
Uh-oh.
Damn, that was a bad crash. I might have to go check that out and make sure someone's okay. I don't see no one's happened.
Oh.
Okay, no, a little bit. Fuck, that motherfucker flipped his car though. Damn.
Do you
Fuck.
need to go check it out?
No, I don't want to because that motherfucker is either dead or alive, and I've done enough of these motherfucking stops. That shit is not pleasant, one way or another. I don't want to deal with that right now. That's like not a nightmare I want to deal with. I won't lie, 10 candles comes from all my own nightmares. Like it's god awful shit I had to deal with in my own sleep.
Mm.
It's my way of cleansing it, so that way it gets the fuck out. Fuck. Like I might have to go over there. Fuck. Oh no. Okay, there's a couple. Okay. Fuck no, they ain't doing this shit right. All right, y'all. Great game. I'm gonna go try to help these people. I guess I'll be
All
back.
right.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna go to bed.
Yeah, same. Thank you again. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah. Well, have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye.